Greetings to all and sundry. This is Chancellor North Wales, a rather belated video in many respects, for the simple reason I haven't extracted Digit from Aperture to sort out my build vid. So I'm going to really basically discuss what I've been up to, and it's been a fair amount. Part of the reason for not doing the videos is I've kind of been more focused on the modelling side lately, and I can't deny I've rather enjoyed doing that. So it's been more like just time at the bench rather than time at the PC. And when I do get home from work late, I've been all the time on the PC at work. I prefer just to be at the bench, but that's my excuse anyway. So I have fallen behind on my videos. There's 2 Harrier build videos to do, and I'll discuss some of the other stuff I've been up to and finds and all sorts of things like that. So let's start. You guys are waiting, I know, for a build video for this. I think you may have already seen this. It was on the show at Stafford. This being the Harrier GR3 and the Sea Harrier for the Falklands for Rob Arnov's group, A Century of Conflict. So that's been done. You can see how it's been presented. And I posted it online as well, but I just haven't compiled the build vid. And that's what my feelings have been lately. So I'm quite happy with the way this has turned out. And it hangs on the Harrier wall. Now, after that, I completed this, which is the Balkans Harriers, the Harrier GR7 below and the Harrier FA2 above, that were flew over Bosnia in the Balkans campaign, the NATO Balkans campaign. See how we've approached this. Polycarbonate on the front, the MDF sheet on the back, and brass rod supporting the Harriers. Again, this was on display at the Stafford show last weekend. So quite happy again with the way this has turned out, and that's hanging on the Harrier wall as well, both Airfix kits. So that's the 2 recent Harrier builds. Now when I got those done, that and the Belize Harrier had been built in very quick succession, so I needed something to get as a change. So I dived into some Battletech figures. Yes, all boxed up, structured up. Like I can't do War Games figures without having them in proper cases. So this is an example. This is from Clan Snow Raven, and you can see the painting approach I've done here. Use some old Games Workshop decals. And then I've got a few of these little beasties painted up. There we go. So that's been a fun project. I've done about 30 mechs from Clan and from the Mercenaries. We have an Atlas. These figures are by Catalyst Games in plastic and painted up using largely Tamiya paints, mostly brush painted on a spray painted base with some some spray painted undercoat with some pre-shading. And there's the King Crab as well, again using decals from various sources to give it a little bit more character. So there's been a whole load of these beasties painted up. show what we mean. I'm not going to lift it up to the eyes, I don't fancy some cascade of mechs, but you get the idea. So I threw myself into that as a fairly quick project. Maybe, yeah, it's going to be a low-key return to wargaming. In my case, a very low-key return. Maybe 1 or 2 nights a month, but certainly not more than that, for a number of reasons. I really don't want to go back to the level I used to be at. So, as we said, great weekend at the Stafford Board Game Show, run by the Stoke-on-Trent IPMS. We did an overnighter there. A couple of nice finds there. MiG-23 PD, which is the for me, the last Russian VTOL development aircraft. By art model, I got that. We're just trying to find that anyway. It's going to be a blooming nightmare. A Harrier egg plane that I want to do for a clock. So get clock mechanism from Hobbycraft and just do a little bit more of a fun display piece. So that mounted above or below, I think probably above the clock, and try some modelling ideas out to have that hanging up somewhere. And then another interesting find, but the original Harrier bagged up, the P 1127, the Harrier prototype in the original 1960s airfix bagging, 1960s or 70s. I think it could be even the 1960s one, but the original prototype, original kit, which I was quite lucky to find, and I spent 15 quid on it. I know those are going for much more online. And yes, I have opened it up, and kit collectors may be cringing now. Oh no, what have you done? I buy these to build, and thus I've bought this to build it. So, nice little find there, and that's something I do want to be building. So what else? Well, we have in the lovely Welsh town of Mold, which is not too far from here, a couple of miles down the road, there's a place called Hawkeye's Bazaar, and if you, one of those collectibles shops, and I picked up a few bits and pieces from there. He's the kind of guy who buys out people's old collections and stuff like that. So from there I found a couple of pit specials, one LS model pit special and one A model pit special. Also an Su-26M aerobatics aircraft, a little RWD5 from KP, Kolektiv Plasnikov. And in this box, you can tell it's quite an old one. Again, another kit not to be built to be collected, but to be built. And yes, I succumbed. Another Russian development type that didn't go into service, the LG 176 by Skaraby. Those of you who follow my channel may know I built the MiG-9 by Skaraby. It was a rather interesting kit to say the least. But again, the kind of rare find that you find because you want to build the subject matter. So that's what I've been up to. I do apologise, guys, for the lack of kits. I have now painted out all the Battletech minis I had, and I will add some more to it, but that won't be until later in the month. I've spent enough of model shows and other such stuff, so I really don't want to spend that more. So keep keeping an eye on this. I've just had to shift a whole load of files off this thing as well, off my phone. So it's been a rather nice run, and I do apologise for falling behind yet again on build vids. I've got a bit of a knack for doing that. The stash has rather grown, as you can see here. That shouldn't be getting quite that high. Yeah. And so the bench needs a little bit tidy up after painting these, all the mechs. And Rogue Basic Modeling's next group build is the Nordic group build. I'm not sure what I'm doing for that. I do have a couple of things I could easily pick up and do, like the Saab Sapphire that I've got here, a couple of Saab aircraft, so it might be fun to do that. I've got a few, I think about 3 subjects I could certainly do for that from various sources, and quite a few other aircraft. So, as I say, bench needs a little bit of tidy up. I need to have a bit of a mental reset. I may say to myself, I can't build anything until I've caught up on my videos. So I've got 2 build videos I need to try and do, probably do them this weekend, because this week busy's up again. I suppose the other reason being is the first half of this year I wasn't working the hours I had been, in terms of late into the evenings. I'm now, for a number of reasons, re-ramping that. I have got a book I really need to finish. I've really needed to finish it for flipping ages, in terms of writing the bloody thing and keeping my publishers happy. So that is a project I have to get done. It's been at 90% done, to do with my job anyway, so or related to my profession. So that is something I just need to focus myself on, and that for me is, you finish work at a certain time, then carry on sat at the desk working away on things. So I'm sort of reshifting my hours and remanaging my time. Because I've been finishing closer to a sensible hour, I've been able to give more modelling time to things like the series of Harrier builds and the good run of builds I've had this year so far, so I'm quite happy with that. But since the first week in August, when we came back off our 2-week shutdown, I've had to re-ramp, readjust the hours and the work patterns a bit. And if I can get like 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, normally at working late at work, and possibly the odd Thursday and some Friday, an occasional Friday, it puts me in a better position to be working what I need to be working on. So as work also gets in the way, I find myself doing a bit of extra report writing and such like. So there is more going on, and this latter half of the year, these remaining 4 months, so September, October, November, I've got to be on a different pattern, and the leaves are already starting to turn a little bit brown, the shades are changing, temperatures are dropping slightly, they're still quite mild and pleasant, and with that I'm adjusting things as well. So quite a lot going on. I have been following build vids and projects and all sorts of things. I do have another project to do. Somebody gave me a 1/48 scale Mustang that somebody had started, the Revell kit, and I'm going to build that, and that way may well be my next build, as that was given to me by somebody to complete. So that's this kit. I really don't want a 1/48 scale kit here. It has been started, so this may get a clean off, and a revisit. It's a fairly basic old Revell kit. You can see here, so some stuff to redo on it, some stuff less so. I will probably take a look whether I can strip the paint off, restart that. It has a pilot figure in there, so it's going to lend itself to a display frame. I'll see what I can do with it. I'm going to put it flying over Rutland Castle near Rill and offer it up then to Rutland Models or whoever else might want it. Either to the guy who, passing it on from person to person, somebody else can have it. Basically, I'm building it and then it's going. I don't want a 1 foot here. Just won't fit into this place. So that's going somewhere else once it's done, and I think that's a good point. That may well be my next project. I'll take photos and discuss it. I'm not going to do a history of P51s. There's plenty of those online. So yes, I think I know what I'm doing next. I'll find another picture frame I can use and go through the whole presentation process and that side of it. So that's really where we're up to. Having fun, a great deal of it. Trying new and interesting things. And diving into new avenues, and there may be a few unexpected ones coming up as well, but I'm not promising anything or anything else like that. I've got a nice load of kits to build for Rob's civilian group build starting in January. But yeah, I think this next project I'm going to put on the bench is going to be that P51 flying over Rutland Castle. Definite yes. So that's next, because I partly just want it done. I don't want it lingering, and then I want it out of the house, basically. If Rutland Model doesn't want it, I'll pass it back through somebody through Wrexham Wings Model Club, and they can hang it up where they want. Having a great deal of fun though. Watching a lot of great documentaries on YouTube, listening to an awful lot of podcasts. And so guys, for the time being, this is Chancellor North Wales signing out.